Let's do it. I began by farming a bunch of wood off camera because I needed blocks, even though that's literally what the map is made of. As soon as the camera started rolling though, I made some tools, left the excess planks in this chest, and headed into the Cavern of Carnage. There's no way I'll need that wood later. Half of these flaming mobs are zombies and the other half are creepers, which is fun because the only way to find out which is by being exploded. Not wanting that, I broke this spawner hidden under mossy cobble, which turned out to be for creepers, thereby decreasing my odds of combusting and having my internal organs become juice. I didn't check if there was anything behind this lava fall, so naturally, there was. Instead, I kept on the rightmost path and destroyed another creeper spawner. You might be wondering why I'm not placing torches to light up any of the cavern, and while it's tempting to say that I needed to conserve them, the truth is that I just wanted this video to be unwatchable. That's also why I called Frosty Acehook. This creeper seemed unenthused about me destroying his spawner, but despite his best efforts, I was able to break it. A small victory tainted by quail cakes wiping the fire res that he dropped on the ground. Running into the cavern that I looted in episode 1, I cleared more spawners and began doubting my earlier maths given that every mob so far had been a creeper. This pattern held true even as I skirted the outside of the cavern, entered an even bigger lava fall room, and made this insane claim.
Pretty much just gonna speedrun the dungeon.
Not to spoil too far ahead, but the only category this would qualify as a speedrun for is a speedrun of how fast I can lose my shit. At this point, we encountered our first invisible skeleton, which was good because I could tell it apart from the other mobs on account of its bow, but bad because it shot me. Climbing sus staircase, I approached this chest and looted it in the slowest way possible, while a blaze inflicted third-degree burns on me like a cup of McDonald's coffee. Feeling confident after escaping the drive-thru, I imparted some expert wisdom onto Frosty Acehook by calmly dealing with this skeleton. Despite my panic, I was actually very close to the wall at this point, which was at the end of this wooden bridge. Digging up through the wall to reach a higher point on the bridge, Frosty and I engaged in a highly intelligent and thoughtful discussion about the nature of life itself.
The good news is that this is a skeleton-themed area, and I'm wearing a skeleton head. I'm like the imposter!
After my brain had expanded substantially, I finally reached the upper bridge and immediately caused the third skeletal civil war. This was good, because in my thorough preparations, I had brought all of one arrow. Unequipped to fight these catapult skeletons the normal way, I opted for this highly sportsmanlike strategy before destroying their spawner with bravery and tactics. Venturing onto the bridge for all of 2 seconds, I decided that sticking to tunneling would be slightly preferable to drowning horribly in molten rock. Burning. Screaming. Crying. Fading further into the distance as I sink deeper. My loved ones lost forever. Anyway, my digging escapade was abruptly soured by the fact that I didn't bring any wood, despite having infinite wood at home. To combat this, I commenced the survival let's play, returning to the beginning of the bridge to harvest planks without any concern for its structural integrity. Proving my point, I also blew it up. Now that I had more pickaxes, I could return to my riveting tunnel project. After using an advanced technique called placing blocks, I finally got a visual on the wall, meaning I could now commence phase 2 of the plan. Even more fucking digging. This plan began in the obvious way. Bridging. After risking the wrath of the skeletons, who I suspected had punched 5,000, I reached another spawner and broke it with only a small amount of tunneling required. This continued to the next spawner, which I had a few choice words for.
Let's get down there to that spawner and fuck his shit up. Let's rock this guy's shit.
You'll never guess how I got down there. At least this time I was courteous to the viewer and remembered to place torches. Just kidding. Upon reaching the bridge and deleting the spawner, I discovered there were also melee skeletons defending the fleecy box. So props to Quail Cakes for increasing the map's diversity by adding different kinds of white people. These guys were melee, so I guess they were introducing British characters alongside the gun-wielding Patriot skeletons. Being a big fan of equality, I killed both those imperialist pigs before heading back to mine blocks for the motherland. I'd only made it a few more blocks when...
Oh no. Oh fuck.
This was a problem, because it meant I would have to dig a fully enclosed tunnel all the way to the wall, rather than continuing with the semi-bridge I'd been making. Did I really have the patience? Did I really have the resources? In a word, yes. In a much better word, At this point, there's going to be a lot of mining, so I'm going to gloss over quite a lot of it in order to keep this video under 10 minutes, and also prevent the audience from going into a boredom-induced coma. Though it would increase viewer retention. Trust me, you're not going to be missing much. To summarize, I Ran out of pick, made another pick, placed these torches before deleting them to spite you personally, had this exchange with a bone brew, ran out of pick again, recommenced the survival let's play to harvest this bridge, took a piss, dug high up and around the gas zone. Oh boy, you'll never guess what happened to my pickaxe. More torches, more digging, but this time we're going down. Oh shit, the ghast is in the shaft. Oh no. I see it. Guys, I lit up the tunnel. Are you proud, guys? We did it. Got a bit delirious there. After deleting this gas spawner, I acquired the wall, something which Frosty Aesop was just riveted by.
The same amount of alcohol. What is upside down? Hands in the fucking air, mouth open. They're just sitting there like, what the fuck happened? Dude, they were given the same amount of alcohol.
On the way back, my crappy wall bridge came back to bite me in the form of this ghast, but he miscalculated because I channeled my inner Just Cause Rico and punched his missile to death. Demonstrating my character arc, I lit up these spawners before breaking them, then headed back to Sus Citadel and placed the wall in my new chest system. However, it's not over. We still had to reach Int 2. Now calling both Aviatic and Frosty Aesop for maximum silliness, I began this plan by immediately getting distracted and building God's safest bridge to this magenta wall island. The budget didn't extend to maintaining worker safety, just like real life, so instead I made my way over to the island on this perilous wooden strip, aka a stick. The mound was infested with creepers, so, still only in possession of one arrow, I devised a plan which I summarised brilliantly.
Okay, we're just gonna Obama out of here. Shut the fuck up!
Good news, I was able to break one spawner. Bad news, I may have ruined my friendship with Frosty Aesop. Skirting this lava pool, I ran past the suspicious gravel field to reach a corridor. This is the exact moment when my last run of the map ended, after I mined the gravel floor and lost the wall and the lava below. This time, I avoided that by building above sus hallway. Now that I could see the intersection, the only threat left were these flaming creepers, so I did the obvious thing and dug through the wall for 5 minutes trying to find their spawner. This process was not made easier by Frosty doing his best Hector Salamanca impression. Nevertheless, I finally found it, and that wasn't even the best bit.
Oh my god. Cobblestone!
Now that I was at Int 2, I logically retreated all the way to this chest island in an effort to despawn the hallway creepers so I could read some incidental signs. I used my one arrow carefully before dive bombing the island, building this escape pillar, breaking the spawner, building this escape bridge, dive bombing the island again, building another pillar, and finally, deleting this chest. Loot! My excitement was uncontainable. Making my way back to Int 2, I finally got a good look at the signs, which were mostly filler in comparison to this. Nice. Completing my journey to Int 2, I set my spawn here before immediately triggering this trap and being scared half to death. On to Light Blue.